Et bien bonjour sur l'épisode 2 de Vampyr. Toujours en ma compagnie, la compagnie de Redosa. Ouais, toujours assez bon. Bon, en espérant que ça va bien sauvegarder à la fin de ce que j'ai fait. Hop. 18h30, 8. Voilà. Hop. Tac, tac. Bon, quand il veut. Hop. Ouais.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given
Evening,
me a
sir.
laugh.
Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. His face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the cannon factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Tac. Attends, mais William Bishop ont été de bons amis.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts. Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
You again. What can I do for you?
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight. but he's not my friend anymore.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Qui est-il?
Who is he?
William, just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah, like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What do you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Let's go pour choper le petit William.
Poor Jack. He didn't deserve this.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city. The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself.
Oups. Bon, on va examiner la blessure avant.
This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim.
Examiner le bateau ou le message?
Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. What's this? Some sort of note. There are blood splats on the other side.
30 octobre, expéditeur J. McCollum, destinateur patrouille de dock, multiples morts dans la zone des docks. Nous pensons qu'un de ces satanés suceurs de sang est le responsable. Trouvez les monstres et éliminez-le au plus vite. Attention, selon les dernières informations, ce vampire est extrêmement violent. Restez très prudent en l'approchant. Je sais que nous manquons d'hommes dans cette partie de la ville, mais n'envoyez pas des pleux enquêter sur cette affaire. Si mon intuition est la bonne, nous avons affaire à un véritable fou furieux qui tue toutes les nuits, comme toujours. Fouillez d'abord les endroits abandonnés, comme les vieilles maisons, les sous-sols, les égouts ou les entrepôts désaffectés. Détruisez ce suceur de sang, mes frères.
These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters.
Comme ça. Tac. bien les suivre, mais... Ah, ok.
Over there!
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. Feel like I'm back on the front line again.
I'm cold. Lively! It's on to us! It's
Hop. Donc... La chevrotine, du déchirine.
Leech spotted! Watch out! Live lively! It's on to us!
Oh, je l'ai one shot avec la lance-de-son. Elle est plutôt pratique. Ok. Et moi j'ai l'exploit. Ensuite fait en gros des fois que je loupe pas quelque chose. Une tige de plomb j'ai eu. Oh. Hmm. Donc j'ai débloqué une nouvelle arme. Qui peut servir pas mal. Hmm. Petit rat. Hop.
This is despicable.
Donc il y a un refuge juste là. Mais on va y aller plus tard, j'ai que 745 XP donc ça m'intéresse pas plus que ça.
I cannot enter. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy. This place reeks of bloodshed.
Est-ce que ce sera le premier zombie qu'on affronte?
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Ah, on peut même bouffer les zombies. Ah, c'est bon. On tape-le. On récupère un peu de sang, hop. Du soin, et on est parti. Tain. Et meurs. Ah.
William, please. Stop. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Qui était chez Hampton déjà? C'est Barman? What? Sean Upton, on le connaît pas encore. Bah on le connaît, mais on vient juste de le connaître, mais on sait pas ce qu'il est encore, donc on peut y aller. J'aime bien le petit bateau quand même.
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
Un peu petit
William
bateau
was-
steampunk.
What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
And for that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Ouais, parce que là j'ai vraiment besoin de vos avis. Clairement. C'est pas que je suis sale, mais je suis sale quoi.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Lâche ma main, s'il te plaît, merci.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah! It's my turn!
Rotten autocracy. Each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place.
Ouais, c'est bien ce qui me semblait. J'aimerais gagner plus d'XP avant de le tuer. Parce que voilà quoi.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
La quantité... voilà, c'est pour ça en fait. Genre, je me suis dit 500 XP c'est assez peu au final, donc j'ai essayé d'augmenter un peu. Par contre, je peux charmer.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Je veux pas le tuer encore. On est obligé de le tuer. C'est chiant un peu.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Bah pas maintenant en tout cas. Par contre, il y avait les tripes à l'air. Bah, ce qui paraît, il était extrêmement blessé. Là, il a l'air de bien aller quand même.
What happened?
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Ouais, je sais que si je continue comme ça va pas aller, mais je préfère ça pour l'instant pour d'augmenter un peu plus la qualité du sang.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Ça, je kiffe quand même. On arrive à peine à un hôpital qu'on a déjà un nom sur, on a déjà un
I
bureau
would like to
propre.
ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
D'accord.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Ouais. Et quel genre de personne est le
What
docteur Swansea?
kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Ouais.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Ah bah lui il est cool.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Enfin une bonne personne. Ouf. Ouf. Par contre, paye tes armes. Mais sinon j'ai pas fini de te parler, j'ai des questions.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Ah.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
C'est pas con. Ok, le reste c'est des
Goodbye,
interdits. Alors moi je suis chaud pour y aller dans le jardin. On va faire la petite quête du jardin.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
I wonder why the Cosmics came here in the first place.
Ouais, là ça a sorti. On fouille les poubelles bien sûr. Avis public, présentation de la grippe espagnole. Couvrez-vous la bouche d'un mouchoir pour tousser et éternuer. Marchez pour aller au travail, ne crachez pas. Utilisez votre propre tasse pour boire. Évitez les foules. Si vous tombez malade, allez au lit et appelez un médecin. Comment fabriquer un max? Justement, prenez un morceau d'étamine ordinaire de 40 cm sur 20. Pliez-le en un rectangle 20 cm sur 20. Puis pliez-le pour à nouveau en un rectangle de 1 cm sur 10. Attachez les cordons d'environ 25 cm de chaque côté pour pouvoir l'attacher. Placez-le sur votre nez et votre bouche comme indiqué sur l'image. Imprimé par la commission de santé du Conseil de communauté de Londres. Alors ça sert aussi IRL.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Je te bouffe. Cherchons le portefeuille. Photographie d'un couple amoureux souriant avec bon bah première quête annexe unique. Après on va pas dire hein, c'est vraiment la première quête annexe, donc c'est pour ça que c'est si rapide en fait. Est-ce qu'on est dans l'hôpital? Ouais, ça amène directement à l'hôpital, d'accord. Il est où l'ambulancier? Ah, monsieur. Pourquoi vous allez si loin, monsieur?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers
On s'en bat les couilles de ça.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
De ce fait...
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
J'avoue. Alors vous voyez, lui, il serait en meilleure condition pour...
You do realize you could both get fired.
Ouais, cher, mais...
Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Je vous fais confiance. En reste, il me manque encore des petits indices.
Goodbye, Milton.
Petite enquête terminée.
Good evening, sir.
Nouveau petit
So it is
personnage.
true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Pas vraiment, non.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
J'ai envie de dire... J'ai plus l'habitude
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
D'avoir une mauvaise situation. Car au final, j'étais à la guerre, donc je pense qu'il y a des aussi pire cas, quoi. Parlez-moi des capacités.
Tell me more about cherished people then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong.
Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish she would get out of his office now and again.
J'avais pas gagné des indices.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Un indice sur lui. R2, R1. Il y a Gwyneth Paltrow qui sont qualifiés pour son poste de familial. Et Gwyneth Paltrow, ouais, c'est la petite vieille. Mais nous on a Pippa Hawkins. Pas encore parlé à Pippa Hawkins. Par contre, on en parle juste de ce style. Ouh là là.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Ah, justement.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Son bilan de santé.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Certains se distinguent de qui.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Ah bah voilà, un nouvel indice sur...
If you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Ok, merci bien. Ceci pas... Non.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
On va parler à Tippett. Donc maintenant qu'on a un nouvel indice. On a l'indice du... Sur... Lui. Corcoran se tue à la tâche et refuse à la tête de travailler. Elle est où, Corcoran?
are not fools. They know we are.
Ah bah t'es là.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Pas vraiment, mais...
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Vous n'avez rien à prouver, votre comportement est irresponsable ou Nurse Brannigan.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Oh, c'est mignon. Merci bien.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Bon, on va pouvoir enfin finir cet épisode. Ah, il y a elle que je dois
Good
pas...
evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
2250 XP quand même.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Pourquoi les médecins
Why
en
does
particulier?
Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Je suis d'accord avec toi.
Do you need medical help yourself, Nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Je pense qu'on va aller parler au dernier bonhomme. Bah, au dernier bonhomme qu'on a déjà parlé, mais bon.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Il est petit en fait.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Goodbye, Milton.
Bon allez. Oh, j'ai une personne inconnue là. On ira la prochaine fois. Dans le prochain épisode. Non, les escaliers sont pas longs. Alors il y a mon nom dessus. Je pense qu'on va même s'arrêter devant la porte. Et puis on prendra. Docteur soit ici. Il n'y a pas de porte là-bas, non. Docteur, voilà, on va s'arrêter là pour ce petit let's play et on reprendra la fois prochaine. Normalement, peut-être d'ici mercredi. En tout cas, je vous souhaite un bon nouvel an parce qu'elle sort juste avant le nouvel an. Elle va sortir juste avant le nouvel an. Et puis on se dit à la prochaine et n'oubliez pas de vous abonner, lâcher un like, un dislike, un commentaire pour nous aider à nous améliorer, etc.